We have a couple of clips to look at today of Trump's MAGA VP, JD Vance, who has been floundering horrendously in recent weeks, surely making Trump regret his choice already, as he's largely unqualified and largely unliked even in his own home region. Polling coming out showing him at -5 favorability on the average of all polls and -16 in his own home region, showing that the people who know him the best like him the least. And he's been going viral for all the wrong reasons, we'll say that. So let's look at a few of these clips and discuss.
New insult out this week that her and her husband have been using towards you, calling you weird. Does that hurt your feelings? How do you feel about that?
No, not at all. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, this is how you act when you're definitely not weird. The fake forced laugh that it seems like clearly this is getting to him. If he wasn't a bad person, I would probably have a soft spot for him. He seems like a sad, weird individual. He's like the kid in school who's getting roasted and doesn't really know how to play it cool, but he wants to try, so they'll stop. But between this and the couch story, which we won't even get into, but you can look it up yourself, it's hard to even take him the least bit serious.
And I want to thank especially Kevin Roberts and all of the Heritage Foundation for 50 years of incredible work on conservative policy.
Kevin Roberts is, of course, the director of Project 2025. Heritage Foundation is the foundation that put forth this plan. The authors are in it. It's their proposal. And of course, also almost all of the authors worked with Trump's first administration, are in his campaign now, or are lined up to be in his next, as we've covered extensively, showing their names and everything. So now that his VP has also came out and shouted them out, I think the narrative of Trump not knowing anything about Project 2025 is clearly a lie. He's just trying to run a careful campaign where negative press can be avoided. But you also have to think of the what could happen, the what ifs, right? Trump is a 78-year-old man. He's the oldest presidential nominee in history. He would be the oldest president in history if he's elected. What if something happens to him? And then JD Vance comes into power. JD Vance, who supports a national abortion ban, who is shouting out openly Project 2025 and its creators. I mean, Trump did too, honestly, but he's just stopped when it got negative. But JD Vance is more brash about it even now. What would a JD Vance presidency look like? That's something you have to keep in mind when you're voting. But anyone who doesn't take Trump's every last word at face value can easily see through the bullshit. Every single person around him that will be advising him on policy, giving him ideas, they will all have worked directly in Project 2025. So what do you think will happen with the kind of policies that he puts forth?
In that environment, if people see Republicans not as the party that's trying to make it easier to have babies, but is just trying to take people's rights away, then we're going to lose.
I mean, the problem is that's exactly what their party is about at this point, and has been since 2016 at least, taking healthcare away from trans people, taking away their right to serve in the military, taking away women's rights for fertilization treatments, taking away their right to choose, taking away rights from same-sex couples, banning books out of libraries, taking away immigrants' rights to seek asylum, taking away the right to equality for minority groups. At this point, I mean, I could keep going, but I don't even know what rights the Republican Party is standing to protect anymore. Like the right to say the N-word and carry big guns. That's the only rights they seem to care about.
One more thing I'm going to say on this, Trey. I think a lot of parents and a lot of non-parents look at our public policy over the last 4 years and ask, how did we get to this place? How did we get to a place where Kamala Harris is calling for an end to the child tax credit?
Now, this is just a horrendous lie. Like, there's not even a shred of truth in this. I mean, first off, it was Senate Republicans that killed the bill that would have extended the original tax credit. And then the second time it was brought to the floor in a much smaller package to try to appease those Republicans, they also refused it as well. Harris actually led the administration, took the forefront in its push for the original child tax credit, the one that cut child poverty in half, by the way, has spoken in speeches about that we've covered on this channel about bringing it back. So to say that she's came out against it when she's done nothing but come out for it when she was the reason it was passed in the first place, it's kind of weird. You're weird, JD Vance. I know, right? He's going to make the face. But when in reality, I mean, it was his own side. His own side are the childish cat ladies that he talks about, right? That said, who needs child tax credits? Families? No, we don't need to benefit families. Those aren't corporations. Like, what are we doing, right? It's just a gross misrepresentation of facts when he knows that he can't win on the merits of policy. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.